There we go. So we're now being recorded. So hold on, I just kind of messed with the screen share here. So thumbs up, everybody can see the screen? We good? All right. All right. All right. Hopefully we're not staring at my browser history or anything like that. God help us all if we are. So today, referrals. So what you need to know. And we're really going to cover just the bare bones, like the most basic pieces. So if you are an agent, you've been an agent for 15 years or 15 minutes, this applies to you. Because again, this is something that you don't need a ton of infrastructure around. You just need to have a little bit of a process. So some of the things that we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about strategic gifting. So some of you guys have heard us talk a little bit about that before. So survival kits. We're going to talk a little bit about pre-gifting. So right after your listing presentation, and some things that you can do, again, just to make sure you're solidifying that relationship and creating that level of reciprocity. We're going to be talking about maps. So that is basically the mechanics of how to ask for a referral, when to ask for a referral. Then we're going to wrap up today with talking about a formalized referral system. So what does that look like? Now, it's going to be different for everybody's different real estate boards. So what we're able to do, you may not be able to. So please check with your local real estate council before you just throw something like this out. Don't want to see anybody's license get popped for goofing around. We just do what we're allowed to do in our board. And we found that most people, there are workarounds. There's things that you can create within yours. So market survival kits. This is something that is near and dear to our hearts. We've been running with this for about a year and a half now. So this was something that we put in place going into 2021. So every time we are meeting with a buyer, particularly, we're actually giving them a little market survival kit. Now for us, if we give a gift or we do something nice, what do you guys think is going to happen on the back end? Anybody want to take a guess?
They're going to do business with you.
Yeah, you got it, right? It's again, that golden rule of reciprocity. If you do something really nice and genuine for someone, there's a really good possibility someone's going to try to do something nice for you. So market survival kits. So we try to go one-to-one. So every time we meet a buyer at a property for the first time, we're looking at bringing this kit with us. So here's what is inside this kit. Now, I'm not saying everybody needs to go out and create this, but really start thinking about a small gift or a token of appreciation for them putting their faith in you for going in there and unlocking a door and possibly showing them that home. So what we do is we have a branded, almost looks like a blue shopping bag, like a reusable shopping bag with our logo on the front. We have a bottle of wine. This is what we do in the summertime. We have a bottle of wine, 2 branded wine glasses. We have a box of chocolate. We have a free pizza certificate. So it's for 1 free large, I think 2 topping pizza. Now we actually worked out a deal with one of our local pizza places here in town. And they actually gave us like 250, 300 free pizza certificates, as long as we included them in our list of preferred vendors that goes out inside the bags. So we've got a free pizza certificate. We also have a list of preferred vendors. So we've got notaries, we've got appraisers, we've got inspectors, electricians, interior designers, decorators, power washing, you name it, carpet cleaning. So that goes inside the bag, right? Again, it's all branded up as well. And then we also have our buyers and sellers guides, which can go in there too, right? So just another copy that they can have at their disposal. And my favorite part about this is there's actually a small card that can be handwritten on, and that goes inside as well. So you can write like a personalized thank you note. So again, put yourself in the shoes of that buyer, right? They've talked to you on the phone, maybe had a buyer's consultation, they're going out and doing that exploratory tour, and that's what you're showing up with, right? So again, it starts to really cue those referral receptors, because you've just done something nice for somebody. And in turn, they're gonna, again, wanna do something nice with you. Plus it's that one thing that is above and beyond what anybody else in your marketplace is currently doing. So the handwritten cards are really, really basic. We have a couple different ones. And this is what they look like. So just like little tent cards, go inside an envelope, and the agents or whomever can write a nice little note in it. And again, it's got the market survival kit, and it's got like the little cross on it and stuff. And it's a bit of a joke when we hand it out. We all kind of laugh about it, saying, you know, when we do find your dream home, I guarantee you there's going to be one sleepless night. There's going to be one time where you're going to be stressed out, not want to make dinner. Hopefully this helps, right? Then they kind of open it up. It's got a nice note in there with all the contents. So again, you don't need to have something that is like this over the top, but even if you've got like a small box of donuts from a local bakery or a nice bottle of wine or premium alcohol or whatever the case may be, again, really, really small price to pay for starting to churn those receptors on. So inside the slide deck, obviously it's got the tent cards here as well. So please, you know what, you can use this as a bit of a template. If you've got somebody who's a graphic designer, throw your logo, your colors. We have a really nice sort of picture of a local neighborhood in our town, with the ocean in the background. So choose some nice photography, get your colors on there, get your branding, get your logo, throw it in, and away you go, right? So those are our survival kits. So pre-gifting, right? It's a little bit different than the survival kits. This is something that we're not as consistent as I think we'd like to be, but we're moving in that direction. So it's a thoughtful, heartfelt gift just after the listing presentation. And I've heard a lot of people in a lot of markets, what they do is they have like a family recipe. So for me being Italian, what I would put in there is maybe a couple jars of like a nice passata, like some nice tomato sauce, maybe a recipe, a bag of spices, box of pasta, right? Wrap it up in a nice bag and then bring that, just saying thank you for the opportunity. So again, you really have to think in this marketplace, it's so important that you're able to elevate yourself above everybody else. What is that one or two things that you can do to, again, elevate your game? We had a coaching student down in Utah, and this was something that he did 100% of the time and saw amazing results. And what he did was his family's, it was his family's banana bread recipe. So he would have all the contents ready to mix along with a really heartfelt card talking about, you know, the history of banana bread in his family, right? It's a recipe passed on for generations. But again, it's that one thing that can sometimes prime those receptors. And you'll hear me say this probably another 20 times, reciprocity. Do something nice for somebody, they're going to want to do something nice for you right back, and usually very, very quickly. So asking for a referral. Now, this is something that messes a lot of people up, right? I mean, just show of hands if you've ever not asked for a referral just because you thought it would sound a little bit awkward, right? At this point, most people's hands should be going up, because if they're not, then I'm going to assume that everybody's running 50% of their business on nothing but referrals. Hopefully the other 50 is coming from some type of internet lead campaign, right? But don't kid yourself. Everybody has been in this position. Again, newer agent, experienced agent. So I want to talk a little bit about the psychology of actually asking for a referral. And before we even get into that, just really understand it is your cheapest cost for lead acquisition that there is. There's nothing you can do that is cheaper than referrals, right? You're not sitting there calling leads hour after hour, right? There's no ad spend going out. There's no boosting Facebook posts. There's nothing. The most powerful thing you can do is just ask. So there's a process. And again, it's not our process. It's from Chad Durfee. So if anybody's ever had a chance to listen to Chad Durfee speak, he actually has a company that their job is to coach agents on how to ask for referrals. So he has what he calls it the MAPS referral planning. So again, it's that psychology of how to ask for a referral. So mechanics, how/when to effectively prime clients to refer. First thing to understand. Anybody want to take a guess or put it in the chat? When should you be asking for a referral? I'd love to see what people think, because there's some different schools of thought in there. So is it before the sale, during the sale, or after the sale? Throw it in the chat. Before. All right, we got one for before. First meeting, middle, before. Always ask before. After sale and possession day. Okay. So as you can see, after subject removal, each one, right? So again, love the answers. But as we can see, really, there's no consistency, right? Some people are before, some people are during, some people are after. What we do is we ask right away on the very first meeting. The very first meeting, typically during that buyer's consultation, during the listing presentation. We actually ask for the referral before we've even taken them on as a client, right? We've come in, a lot of times we have a gift in our hand and it's our first time face-to-face. We're asking right then and there. We always ask before. Now, the issue is sometimes during or after, people are already in their home, they've got their keys, they're dealing with painting and renos and flooring and carpet cleaning, right? It's almost like Google reviews. How top of mind do you think you actually are once you've handed those keys over? Unless there's a problem, you are taillights in the wind. I wish I could tell you something else that people are going to lay there at night, every single night and go, wow, that was so amazing, right? No, it's just next. You're a bit of an afterthought. But the earlier you can prime someone up for a referral, the more that you can keep cueing those receptors with every single bit of extra value that you give. So please remember that. When to ask for a referral? Right in the beginning. So gold star for anybody who put before, or gold star for anybody who put all the way through. So assets, the A in maps. So tools, technology, plus rewards you use. I love this. So we actually have a referral program that we talk about. Now, our referral program, we pay $500 for every closed sale that is referred to us. 500 bucks. So a lot of people, some of our greatest referral partners have actually never bought a house from us. Just sit on that for a second. They've never actually gone through the whole process with us, but are still actively referring in the background. For some people, that's like almost like a Tesla payment, 500 bucks a month, right? But people think about those things. So have that conversation, right? Talk about the tools, technologies, and rewards. And if you're unable to do something like that, make sure that you're showing either, a consistent level of gratitude. Make sure that you're maybe sending flowers or you're doing something. The worst thing that you can do is not acknowledge the referral. And so, like I said, you always want to check with your real estate board. I kind of said this right in the beginning. We're not trying to get anybody in trouble, but that's just what our real estate council allows us to do. So find out what you're allowed to do. But really, again, just acknowledge the person that is sending that referral over. A lot of times we kind of lose focus and just shift focus right on the person who's been referred to us. So psychology. So motivators and levers needed to draw and pull to make your referrer look amazing. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. We're in the Western society, we're all about the narrative. We're all about the story. We're all about sort of elevating ourselves in our clan, like our sphere, our group of people, right? We always kind of want to be that next setup. There's nothing better than somebody saying, yeah, you know what, I got a flat tire. You know what, I think I know somebody that can help. It's a really great feeling knowing that you're able to do that. So when we actually ask for a referral, part of our job, and you'll see in part of our scripting, is to make the person who created the referral look like a rock star. It's that ultimate kind of feel-good moment that they're doing the right thing for their friends, for their family, for their coworkers, for their acquaintances, for anybody. So again, very, very important that you always make that person creating that bridge, connecting those dots, make them feel so freaking important. So lastly, systems. Now, when I say systems, I don't mean like full-blown CRMs and send-out cards or anything like that. I'm talking about just letting people know how to launch a referral. Some people don't, because they just assume that they're going to pass a name and number of like their aunt and their uncle, and you're going to phone them 20 times a day. And in your mind, you're like, well, of course I wouldn't do that. But in their mind, you're going to. So very important that you actually show them the mechanics, the systems on how to create that referral. So like I said, we're going to keep this really, really short and sweet today because I don't want to overcomplicate this. But what we have is we have a typical referral script. So again, very important that you understand how to ask for a referral. We know when, but here's a sample script. Now, I kind of tweaked this one a little bit from what we're doing to kind of make it broad across all real estate markets. So you're not talking about the actual referral perk, because again, it's going to be different for everybody. But here's a really great referral script that you need to memorize today. There is something I want to run past you quick, John. Many of our clients, they do introduce our services or talk about our world-class client experience to others. I just thought if that opportunity ever presented itself to you, I would let you know how to handle it just to make you feel comfortable. First off, everything is confidential. We handle these situations with really great care. For example, we don't like to call people out of the blue. So to make everyone comfortable, we actually prefer an introduction. How that looks is if you identify someone that we should chat about real estate with, create a group text. My goal is to make you look like a rock star and not to pester them. So what questions do you think you'd have around that process? Very, very simple, easy. And the beautiful thing is, as I mentioned, we're not looking at something that's really salesy. We're not saying, if I can, would you? It's just, again, knowing when to refer and being able to drop this piece of mechanics. Lets people know that, everything is confidential. Our goal is not to pester them. And we're almost coming from that area of value where it's like, hey, if that should happen, to make you feel comfortable as you're talking to people, here's what I can do. So it's a bit of a different mindset play than how you're probably asking for referrals right now. So again, if there's one thing that you take from this call today, it needs to be this. This is how you properly ask for a referral to make sure that you've got a consistent approach every single time. So I'm going to stop the screen share here and let's kind of open this up a little bit. So we just talked a little bit about what our process is at Sims. What process does anybody out there have that they want to share that's maybe that's working well, that's a little bit different than what we have? Or is everybody like, yeah, we're doing the exact same thing? I would love to believe that, guys. I can just sit here and look handsome and say, all right, that's it. But come on, guys, what are you doing?
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Sam, how's it going, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Good, man. So
Good.
Sam, you do a lot of referral business.
Yeah.
How do you get it?
So generally what I do is it's more of like, I'm connecting with companies around us. And so we're providing, like for Highlander Liquor Store, they're one of the better carriers for vino in the city. They've got several locations everywhere. And so what we did is we came up with an umbrella under us, and it was kind of like, we get 20 to 30% off of all alcohol throughout the whole store. And so I had created an umbrella. If anybody signed up under my umbrella, that they would receive the same amount of discount. And so what we did is we went through our client list and we just went and sent out an email saying we're now affiliated with Highlander. They've provided a discount to all of our clients. This is just a nice gesture, kind of thing. We'd like to extend it to all of our clients. Honestly, it was we got so much appreciation from so many people. And then when they go into Highlander, they're always putting in our information. So it's just a constant reminder that they're with us, and our name pops up every time. So it works really well.
So how long ago did you forge that partnership with Highlander?
3 years ago.
So was there a reason that Jason and I didn't know about that when we were in Calgary? I sure would have liked to know that there was a 30% off premium at Highlander. So thank you, Sam. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thanks,
no problem. Yeah, so I actually quite like that recipe idea. Like that's actually super sharp. All I think is that throughout the year, we constantly do that. And one thing that people appreciate from us is that we have a list of trades. We have a list of companies that we're affiliated with. Like even during COVID, there was like people didn't want to go to grocery stores. So we actually linked up with the biggest meat provider in Calgary and extended our offer to them. And they were getting 10% plus delivery for free at their door during COVID. So I always think that if you're, over the years, you just establish a really good list, people are just going to try to connect with you all the time. And even if it's just as simple as, hey, we need a plumber. Mm-hmm. And, do you have one? That's good enough. That's a great touch. So
yeah, for sure, man. I love that piece, right? It's always being that quarterback, right? Being able to call a play, connect people. As odd as it sounds, for me, it's like a cultural thing. Like I'm Italian. So for me, it's like, I know a guy, right? Mm-hmm. Whatever goes wrong in your life, trust me, I know a guy. I'm probably related to a guy, who can
Yeah,
help out in some way, shape, or form. So for me personally, like I love being able to say like, hey, you know what? I know somebody, please, like, let's connect you. He'll help you out, drop our name, especially when we can affiliate it with Sims as well. So I love that. And Sam, if I can ask you, how's the reaction been with having people go into that liquor store and get a 30% discount?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because every now and again, someone will buy like a really high quality bottle of champagne or scotch or something like that as a gift. And I'll get a text, hey, I just saved $90 on this bottle of Dom. And it's like, wow, great. And then they say, thank you. And I go, you're welcome anytime. Let us know if you need anything ever. And so it's always a touch. It's always a connection. So like, I mean, we're trying to right now incorporate how, like, and Jason's been trying to get on me for it, which I appreciate always, is that he's always telling us to connect with our clients every day and do that. This is a natural form to come back to us. So we, you know, like, it's just always touching. So yeah, we like it.
Love it. Thanks, Sam. Ricky, can I pick on you for a sec, man? So Ricky, you posted something in the chat, and I think maybe people might have missed it. Talk to me about your referral experience. I think your audio is cutting out, man.
Does it work now?
There we go. We're good.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, I got a client. We frequently get together like maybe a couple of weeks or like a month. I just buy them a nice dinner, because I don't know if this like apply here, but in Chinese community, friends really just really want to eat together. So there's like a lot of Chinese restaurants, and there are always new ones. So we go to the new ones. I let the client choose one. So we always go to the new ones. Yeah. Yeah, the same clients, they refer me at least 3 clients. Yeah, at least 3. And one referral is really close. Yeah, really close. Yeah, the other 2 doesn't work, but the one is really close. Yeah. And there's a single client. I did 3 transactions, all from deal. And I'm going to do another listing today with them. Wow. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Ricky, you have kind of that same mentality as Sam, right? It's that giving a gift, creating that community feel. And I think that that's really, really important. And we kind of talked about that when we talked about the referral of this whole psychology piece, right? Again, I'll say it one more time. It's that rule of reciprocity. If you do something nice for somebody, there's a really good chance somebody's going to want to, do something nice for you. And I know, Jackie on our team, we had a dodgeball league, and I believe the number, Jason, it's up to 11. We've done 11 deals from a dodgeball team over 4 seasons. So Jason and I played, and Jackie Prevo, one of our top producing agents, we played on a dodgeball team in 2019, and it runs, I believe, two times a year. And again, we pulled 11 deals just by showing up and talking about who we are, and what we do, but again, in a non-salesy type approach. We go there. The dodgeball team last year actually won it was the Good Sportsmanship Award, right? The team that everybody just liked to play. So again, getting out there as well, because you want to make sure that you've got ample opportunity to talk about what you do. And like Jason said, right, they're very organic, very, very organic. And that kind of goes hand in hand with that scripting piece. It's not about selling yourself. It's about leading and demonstrating value and giving a gift right up front.
Yeah, I just want to share. Sorry, I just want to share a secret from Sibo. I know this secret like just a couple of weeks ago. Sibo buying a lot of great flutes sent to his client. Like he spent maybe like a couple $1,000s each year. And I think that really works. Yeah. Very nice flute basket. Yeah.
Yeah, right. There you go. I mean, there's so many different, thanks, Ricky. So many different approaches you can take. And again, it all comes down to giving a gift ahead of time, right? If you're not out there doing something or helping somebody or demonstrating value, there's really not much that's going to come back on the reverse side. And if you're a newer agent, really understand that script that we shared and really get comfortable with it. You know, it might sound a little bit awkward that first time that you're saying that during like your initial meeting. It's almost like asking for a Google review right up front. People kind of go like, what? But just get comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? No magic will ever happen inside your comfort zone. It's not possible. But where your comfort level will increase is through skills practice and through having just regimented processes. So that's what I wanted to share around referrals. I'm going to kind of, again, keep it open for a couple minutes here, but who else has a referral story or referral strategy that they want to talk a little bit about?
Can I just add one more point?
Yeah.
I just for the same client, I got so many referrals. Not only we have dinners like a couple times. Every festival we have here, I send them greetings. And the same time, if it's kind of like a really traditional Chinese ones, I send them Red Pocket. So we're using the chatting app called WeChat. I just send it over WeChat. It's not much. It's just a couple dollars, but you know, just they feel you're still thinking about them. You know, like not forgotten. Like we did some deals, but I'm still here. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, right. And it doesn't have to be something expensive and like grandiose, right? Just a really nice token. And that's kind of what we found with our market survival kits, right? Like just a really nice token. And that's a lot of time it's the thought that counts, that people think that you actually genuinely care. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares what you say to them. They just care about how you make them feel, right? It's not about the monetary value. It's the fact that you showed you cared. Andrew, how about you, man?
One thing that I've been working on a long time is developing relationship with lawyers. And that's outside of my own personal clients and team clients is one of my best referral sources. So every year, 2-3 times a year, what I'll do is I'll just go down and I'll grab, like there's usually about 30 staff, and I'll actually buy them all lunch. So I'll go down and drop like $300 worth of sushi, get all different types, drop it off for them. And then it's basically lunches on me. And so I instantly like bless like 30, quality staff. I'm top of mind. And then because of that, I get a lot of their business. I just got another referral from a lawyer a couple of days ago. I checked out the condo. It needed a full gut job, connect him with my contractor. Now my contractor's doing a condo job for him for over the next 4 weeks for 30 grand. Now I look like a rock star because the lawyers, if they need anything, they're going to contact me. They're going to go, hey, Andrew, do you have a plumber? Hey, do you have a contractor? Hey, like this, hey, that. Hey, Andrew, I got an estate sale for you, right? And it just, so maybe I spend, I don't know, like $1,000 or plus a year towards the lawyers. And then when you times that by 10, 15, 20 deals a year, that's not a bad return.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Like if you look at what a typical ad spend might be for like your pay-per-click, right? You could be 1,000 plus. I mean, in some cases we've run like $13,000, $14,000, $15,000 a month for our PPC leads coming in, versus spending $1,000 a year, and you're almost guaranteed anywhere from 13 to 15 deals, Andrew. So I love that. And like I said in the beginning, right, really important to understand that it basically is your cheapest lead acquisition known to man, and it's the easiest. And most of the time they've already heard about you. They know you. They know the reason for your call. You're not going to be getting a bad number or a bad name. And it's just a very, very easy transaction. So love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
All right. So yeah, look after your hairdressers, your barbers, etc. Right? Great point. Always be that ambassador, be that connector. And a really great question is, if you are like a barber or a hairdresser, or you're somewhere, ask how you can make somebody else successful. What could I do in my day-to-day life to actually help you out? I dropped that line probably about, I don't know, I started taking dance lessons. Every year I try to learn a new skill. So this year I was like, I'm going to learn how to dance better. So I took dance lessons. I took them for about a month and a half, 2 months. And right at the end of the lessons, I was like, you know what? I've had an amazing time coming here. What could I do to help you be successful? And she was like, you know, my dance instructor, she goes, you know, if you just maybe talk about it on social media, just tell anybody if they're looking for, you know, dance lessons, come and see me. And I went, yeah, absolutely. Within about 72 hours, she had phoned me up and been like, hey, I have an 8-acre, 8-bedroom estate that I'm looking at listing, and I'm looking at buying at least 2 more. Like there's a potential for $5 million in volume from taking freaking dance lessons out of nowhere. And I didn't go in there saying I was in real estate. It just came up, right? So again, you don't need to be out there telling everybody that you're in real estate. Just ask how you can add value. And the funny thing is that it turns out she was actually Jason and Jason's wife, Natasha. She taught them like their first dance at their wedding. She taught Jason's wife, Natasha, and Natasha's stepfather, I believe it was. They did like the father-daughter dance. So they worked together for months and months and months. But who did they call? Called me. Just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. But again, it's just about constantly leading with value and just being that person, right? Like that connector. So Skyly, you had something.
I do. I had a couple actually. Hopefully that's okay. Something that we've been doing, and I learned, I took a Brian Buffini course when I first started in real estate. And one of the big things that he talked about was doing a like client appreciation event. Anyway, so we've been running, we do different things all the time, but anyways, they end up being really great. And I love when we do them where it's like friends and family, because then they bring their friends and family with them, and then you get to be introduced to their friends and family. And it's just like in a very non-threatening environment. You're just like thanking them for being your clients. Anyway, so they're a lot of fun, number one. 2, they end up generating a lot of referrals. So there's that. And then something, we were actually talking about this on our team the other day. And I was actually on Pinterest and was looking up like referral programs for realtors or for real estate. And an idea came up that I had not even thought about. And that was actually creating a referral program for other realtors as well. So if they send you somebody from obviously out of your area, number one, obviously they get the like referral, like incentive, usually the 25%. But I'm like, what if we created an actual referral program around that just to give a little extra? Because I mean, everyone can give 25%. And so there's this one realtor, I feel like I want to take it a little bit further than that. I haven't created it yet. I'm sure that we could brainstorm some cool ideas with it. But this one realtor in Ontario, she sends me a Christmas card every year. And she also sends me these little like personal development books periodically throughout the year, which I always thought was really cool. But then I just like, I'll never forget her name because she always sends stuff throughout the year, even though I haven't sent her another client since.
Nice. I'd love to know her name. I kind of want to be on the book club too, I guess. So
the Cindy Cody team, and she's in Ontario.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yeah.
Right on. So hey, if you're referring out Ontario, other than John Renna, we got who should always be your number one choice. Seems he's paying attention. Yeah, Cindy Cody, right? Love it. And that's something, again, like you'd mentioned, you're never going to forget, because what she's done is she's led with value. She's given a gift, and it just keeps going around, that rule of reciprocity. So before we wrap this up, anybody else have anything else that's working for them? All right, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to get the,
Hey, Joe?
Yeah, shoot, Andrew.
Is his name Skyly, right? Is that the
Skyly? Yes.
Yeah, Skyly. Yeah. When she said customer appreciation, it kind of just, we do a lot of those all year round, and we just did a Ukrainian fundraiser like 3 weeks ago, and we raised about $3,000 there with them and a barbecue, and we probably do about 10, 12, 14 events a year. And what I found successful, because a lot of it, we're all doers, right? And being doers, sometimes it's on the backs of the doers. And thankfully, I have a great team that come in and chip in. But what I learned over the years, because I've been doing it for like the last 10 years, is not only we do card giveaways, we do all this community stuff, but I've teamed up with the Lions, and the Lions have an amazing volunteer group. So all of a sudden I've tapped into like a volunteer group that we support them, they support us. So we've like doubled or tripled our support. And a lot of these people are retired. So coming up this summer, we've also teamed up over the years with like community like parks and recs and all that stuff in different municipalities. So we're turning all these events into our customer and client appreciation, like Skyly mentioned. And we got like 3 or 4 movie nights in the park that we booked. So what are we going to do? The Lions will promote it. The Parks and Recs promote it. Goes over their social media. We're going to do that as well. So we're leveraging all the groups. So all the community will be aware of it. And then we send it to our database of 20,000 saying, come down to our client appreciation, right? It's not cheap. It's about $1,500 per movie night, but we got a booth there. You know, we're going to have our signs out. We're going to have all those different things. And again, just being top of mind and just giving back. It's just like that go-giver mentality. You know, the more you put into others, the more, you know, over time will come back, right? So it's, you can never get back enough. And that's one of our staples that we've been doing for a long time.
Love it. Right on. Yeah. Again, it's that doing something not even really expecting anything to come back, just doing something because you think somebody else might enjoy it, or that somebody else might get something from it, or it's going to help move your community forward, or really build on that relationship. So keep that in mind. It's that go-giver philosophy. If everybody has, if anybody's like, what the hell is a go-giver philosophy? Go read the book. It's called The Go-Giver by Bob Berg. If you haven't read it, you are missing the boat. But a lot of our referral culture and a lot of our values for the 2 companies that we run are based on that go-giver philosophy, doing something for somebody else because it's the right thing to do, right? So try to elevate those relationships, and remember, you need to do something first before something's going to come back at you. So don't just sit and wait for referrals to drop in your lap. Plan something in your community, get out in your community, play on a team, right? And every single person that you meet is a potential referral source. So treat it as such. And if that's the case, what value can you bring into their lives before they show you anything, right? So really create those relationships, get them deep. We're going to get this out to everybody so that you've got some scripting. Practice the scripting around asking for referrals. And, you know, I'd love to even see you guys post in the Sims Mastermind group. Anybody struggling with it, right? Anybody that's, you know, it's not right for me. Well, what should it look like? Let us know. I'd love to say that we've got everything dialed down to a science, but we're always open for the feedback as well. Also, if anybody ever wants to practice any scripting, reach out to us. We can sit there for an hour going through that referral piece until you've sort of built that comfort level, right? And remember, no magic ever happens inside that comfort zone. So we will get this presentation out to you guys. It's been a slice seeing you. Thank you, everybody who was able to share and contribute, and happy referral hunting, guys. Have a great day. Thanks, Kevin. Good to see you, buddy.